Well, welcome to episode 3 of No Safe Words. We have a great episode for you today. I can't wait. I really, really can't wait. We're going to get to know some people. But
God help us
as
all.
always,
Wiz thinks he's slick. He got a little special for you.
yeah, I was told that I talk way too much, so I came up with a
Facts.
way to not talk as much,
Facts.
which leads you guys to talk,
Great.
which means I get to ask questions.
I'm looking forward to getting to know you better, Mo.
No.
Never a good thing when Wiz is asking the questions.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But as always, let's start with the week. Mo, had anything going on this week?
Yeah, the week has been busy. What I do? Had a
Well,
bunch of
Mo's
stuff at
working
work.
about like 60 hours a week, right?
Yeah, it's too much. Got an office move coming, so I'm just working nonstop. Aside from that, just a standard week. Busy, running errands. I didn't really do anything too crazy. I watched The Last of Us, though.
Oh yeah,
Big
we'll
catch up.
definitely get into that. That's
Nice.
definitely going to be a topic we want to talk about. The last two episodes, right? Episode 6 and episode 7, because we didn't talk about episode 6, and then I guess a quick recap. But before we get into that, I've challenged myself this week. This week I said I want to start reading 2 books a month. I was gonna say a year. That's 2 books a year.
You can do it.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to set easy goals so that you can hit them.
You set goals hard, so that way if you miss, you still land amongst those stars, as they say.
Ooh.
No, I'm challenging myself to read 2 books. I started with a book that a friend from work suggested is The Fourth Wing. And it looks like they're doing a screen adaptation on Amazon, which will be fun. The book's good. Book's about like Harry Potter in like a war school sort of thing. So it's a war school, and the group of people that you're following are dragon riders. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Once I get a little bit more into it, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about it. But that's pretty much what I started this week. How about you, Scott?
My week was getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. My second party is today. So that was a lot of fun, getting the pool ready, getting the outdoors ready. I mean, I hope it looks good. You tell me. But it's been a week.
Well, I mean, to start the week for you, Lily babysat the kids so that way you can get out and watch Final Destination. So
That's right. She did do that this week.
She-
I totally forgot that.
did do that.
I mean, I
this
knew we
week.
watched Final Destination, but I forgot that Lily was.
You
Lily
watched
did
2
babysit.
movies this week.
That's right. I went to the movies twice this week.
This guy's
Busy week.
Final Destination and also Mission Impossible.
So
So
you guys heard my take on Final Destination. I thought it was really gory. I thought the death scenes were really good.
that's right.
I think they did a really good bringing back some of the old. I didn't want to tell you this because I knew you were going, but like they paid homage to like the first movie,
They
did.
which was fun to watch.
They did. I mean, I think I saw the first. I don't know how many of these movies do they make.
I don't know.
I feel like this is like this. They tried like maybe 5 or something, but the first one was great. I mean, I think that even got really good reviews. And then, but this one I felt like was, it very similar in quality. Like it was great. I think I got the same, like great feeling out of the first one as I got out of this one. So
You had a great
There's-
feeling from the death scenes.
no, I mean, like the feeling that you're looking for when you go to those kind of movies. You know what I'm saying? Not like, oh yeah, oh my god, they died. Yes, I'm getting off on this. I'm diddying on this.
I don't ever want to hear you say it again.
Yeah, that's a pause.
Well, that's
Pause.
the way you made it seem. Like.
Yeah, I think I would feel better if you never talked like that or said those things. I feel a little gross right now.
There are
My-
6 Final Destination movies, 6 of them.
6.
6.
So I didn't
14
see
years
4 or 5.
since it's the last one.
Yeah, I think what was funny is when I came to pick up Lily, I talked to Magda. That's Scotty's wife, for those who don't know. and she said, "I wonder like how they think of these deaths. Like who just sits there and thinks of these deaths? Like do they do a poll or how do they think of it?" And if you watch the movie, you'll know why.
Yeah.
But I do have a question, like not to go off of on a tangent, but one of these questions were talked about in when I was watching the movie. Would you rather be burnt alive or drown?
Drown, 100%.
Drowned. Yeah, I think drowned. Only because, like, I mean, you're going to struggle to breathe, but it ain't going to be for long.
That's exactly what I thought. And everyone like who has drowned and came back has said that at one point they just sort of drifted away.
Yeah.
Right? But like smelling your own skin burning
Oh, yeah.
before you die and like just being cooked.
Yeah.
That to me, and like think about, well, Scottie shared a traumatizing story, so I don't want to bring that up, but like when Scottie had really bad sunburn, that's why he's scared of the beach now. He had really bad
I'm not
sunburn.
scared of the beach. I'm not scared of the beach.
From the Isles of Caucasus.
But listen, like, I mean, my cousin's husband, 95% of his body was burned. And he died from his wounds. Like, he got into a truck accident. Like, they hit fuel tanks to fuel tanks. And he was doused in fuel and set ablaze.
Oh, well, this conversation.
And like, I saw the aftermath. He was alive 3 days later. And then he passed. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah. Burns, they overload your body's ability to heal.
Yeah,
but from what I heard, I heard that there's something about when you get burned past a certain point, it burns the nerves so you don't feel anything.
Yeah?
Yeah, but getting to that point, how's that feel?
Yeah, I'm not trying to do any of that.
I mean, I've had some burns, but never never that bad. But yeah, no, I can't imagine how horrible that would be.
All right, well, on to like some better topics.
Wait, but I wanted to address that, where do they come up with these deaths? Yo, I bet they find at least half of them from real life stories. Like, yo, ChatGPT, the craziest people that have, like, the craziest deaths that have happened. Like, I'm sure, I don't want to give anything away, but, like, the last scene, where...
Like the prom scene?
Nah, the last scene with the train derailing.
Yeah, the prom scene.
Like, I bet you that's happened. Like, I bet you somebody's gotten hit with that object, somewhere along the line. And they just dramatize it a little bit more. They make it more theatrical, obviously. But I bet you a lot of that stuff can probably be found online in real life situations.
Maybe.
So,
before we go into, because we Scottie and I both watched Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So going into this, like, I want your guys' take. When you guys go into a movie, do you have expectations? So I'll give you an example of my train of thought, right? Like going into Mission Impossible, my expectations are that I'm not going to have to think. I'm going to sit down, watch some really cool scenes, and just be able to enjoy something that isn't realistic for 2 hours and then go about my business. Is that something similar for you guys?
I mean,
go ahead, Scottie.
I think the tone is set by the trailers, right? And the descriptions and stuff, right? Like, I'm expecting what I saw in the trailer. Like, so for one thing, the reason why I'm usually upset with horror movies is that with a lot of horror films is because in the trailer, you're like, oh my God, look at all those jump scenes. And then it's like, bro, that was all the jump scenes in the movie. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm like, yo, if this is 2 hours of jump scenes like this is going to be freaking great, But then it's like, yo, you just showed us all 3 minutes of the jump scenes in the 2-hour movie. You know what I mean? So, like, my expectations are set with the trailer, with the buzz, with the description of the movie. Like, that's where my...
But, like, going into, like, just off of that, going into Mission Impossible, you're not expecting, like something riveting, right?
I mean,
Like,
it's the
That's
Mission
exactly what you're
Impossible.
expecting.
It's the Mission Impossible
Like riveting
series,
meaning like it's gonna be a big plot twist storyline, and I'm gonna be able to like talk so much about this movie, or is it gonna be? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about something different. I'm not wording it right.
Mo, what are your expectations like when you go into films?
So it depends, like you said, right? There's the trailer aspect, and a lot of times they give the hook in the trailer. That's like the idea is they're showing you some kind of a exciting thing to get you hooked to want to go see the movie. But then the other aspect of it is like, for example, if it's part of a series, right? If it's a trilogy or something, or if it's a a sequel or a prequel, the storyline, whether it actually like adheres to the storyline. So that's something that is a point of like whether you get disappointed in watching a movie, or like, all right, I know I read the book or I saw something else and I know what it should be, and then they come and you get let down because it doesn't end up being what you want. The other option is if it's just like a fantasy movie, like a superhero movie or whatever, the idea, like what Tony said, you're going and you're basically, was it suspending disbelief? You're just accepting that you're going to just experience the movie, kind of just disappear for a few hours into, fantasy land of whatever's happening. And just, you go there and you're like, I want to see some crazy stuff. I'm going to just relax and enjoy the movie for the next 2 hours. And then afterwards you're like, okay, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than, like you said, you go to see a horror movie and like they show you all of the stuff beforehand. And it's like, why did I watch the movie? Why did I watch the movie?
Man, that's always like a thing. Yeah, that's one thing you said that I didn't really say either, was the whole like if there are prequels or sequels, right? Like, like the series sets the tone, right? So like this is, I don't know, the 8th installment of Mission Impossible, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm expecting Mission Impossible stuff, right? Like, I mean, he like jumped down, like crazy stuff happens in Mission Impossible, stuff that can't happen, right? And that's the idea, is that this is like super, underground, like Black Ops, kind of stuff, and like, this is in the secret world, kind of like James Bond almost, right? Like, oh yeah, I've got a watch that shoots lasers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I feel like in those situations, right? Like me personally, once you've hooked me into a series, like I don't want to know anything about it. Like Conjuring universe, it comes out with a movie, I'm gonna watch it. Like Mission Impossible comes out with a series, I'm gonna watch it. Jurassic Park is coming out with another movie, I'm gonna watch it. So I almost wish in the beginning of the trailer it just gives the name of the movie, and then that way I know to turn off. I'm not paying attention to this. I don't want to know about it. I'm gonna go see it, but like I'm good to go. I know it has to like give a trailer because some people haven't been part of the movie, but I don't want to know. I want to go into the movie not knowing. Right.
Maybe they can give some kind of like a spoiler alert type thing where it'd be like, if you're interested in this movie, this is gonna be the movie. Stop watching now, and then like for anybody that doesn't know anything about it, all right, keep watching, and you'll get a taste of what to expect or something along those lines.
Right.
So Scotty, from what you saw of the movie between your nap time, like what do you think? Scotty fell asleep in the movie theater, by the way.
Damn.
Yeah.
Doing like one of the best parts.
I know.
Like it was like one of the best parts. Like it's getting to the end. Like so, going into this, he does a lot of his own stunts, right?
Yeah.
And
he did all of his own stunts. He does all of his own stunts.
Well, sure, we're gonna get into that because him and I have some big disbeliefs.
Did you do it?
Some of this. Like,
did you do research on?
I didn't, but like, there's no way he did what happened in the movie.
Well, nobody can do what he did in the movie. Did you hear them talk for 15 minutes about how bodies can't handle this?
I understand that. That's so you're not doing your own stunts when it comes to that,
dude. He did all of the things that he was recorded for in the visuals.
Okay,
right?
so all right. We're gonna like this is part of
this is movie land, right? Like
this is part. Before we go into this, Muhammad, I don't want spoiler alert. But
that's okay.
Are you going to watch the movie?
Go for it. Let's get into it. I already heard some of the stuff about it anyway. So
there's a part where he's in a sub, right, and he's talking to the crew, and the game plan is that He is going to jump out of the submarine underwater in this special suit, go down hundreds of feet into another sub, then go in there, right? Extract something, and then go back to the surface, right? Now, the whole time that they spend like 15 minutes talking about how, hey, going down deep like this, you're going to start hallucinating. You're going to start having like muscle spasms. You're not going to have full control of your body. All of these things. And they said the suit is supposed to help, right? Supposed to help. Now, mind you, where is this taking place?
It's in the Bering Straits.
Okay. Fucking
So, like,
frozen up top.
Yeah,
the frozen,
it's
yeah, the
So
completely
the water
ice-covered-
can't be fucking toasty, right? It's and you're hundreds of feet down.
Well,
So
I'll say probably I don't know this to be fact, but I do believe that
indubitably.
at deeper depths, generally, yes, it's colder, but only to a certain extent, right? So like, it's not gonna, if it's frozen on top, it's not gonna be frozen on the bottom, right?
Well,
It's gonna
of
be
course.
warmer. It's gonna be like fish survive under ice, right?
Yeah.
So like the top is colder at that point, but
Yeah,
so to the point of he's getting deeper, but still like, there's no way he can dive that deep. First of all, as deep as they were, look, I served on submarines. That submarine is imploded at that depth.
Yeah.
Like it's not even, there, right? Like, I mean, it's there, but when he gets inside, it's full of water. He gets inside and it's full of air.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like
Suspend
even like
disbelief.
like going into the chamber to get into the hull, like the inner hull, like there's that pressure change. Nobody's surviving that. Nobody's surviving that.
So, right. So let's just say he does, right?
Yeah.
He gets into this chamber. He starts going out, and these torpedoes are coming and falling off where they are, right? And he can't get out the fucking gate
Yep.
to get back where he is. Of course he can't, right?
Oh yeah.
So the thought is, let me go through a torpedo exit, right? I don't know what it's called. You might have a better word for it, but
Hatch.
the torpedo
Hey,
tube.
okay.
Torpedo tube.
Torpedo tube.
torpedo
alright.
tube.
It's
Right.
where they shoot it's where they put the torpedoes.
So he's like,
where they
ha,
shoot
great
it out
idea.
of the
I'm going to
submarine.
go through this. So he starts to go through this. But problem, he can't get past the backpack. So he cuts the fucking suit off. And then he slides the backpack in, and then he swims. So now you're bare skinned and just trying to go ahead and go through all of this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that suit, it's a dry suit, right? So that's what keeps him warm in the colder temperatures. And now he's just in, I don't know, 40-degree water.
Yeah, minimum. And then
Yeah.
he's swimming 500 feet up.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be,
Oh,
they said,
way more than 500 feet.
they said,
Way more than 500 feet.
hey, you got to make sure you're exhaling the whole time or your head's going to explode.
Oh, and not to mention the submarine's falling off an underwater cliff. And let's take the tank out too. Now he's got no tank, and he's got to go like thousands of feet back up to the
Impossible.
surface.
I was laughing during this scene, by the way. I
course,
think other
of course.
people were probably mad at me for laughing, but I
You just gotta
chuckled.
suspend your disbelief. He's
I mean,
superhuman.
yeah.
He's Tom Cruise. All right.
Absolutely.
Mission
This,
Impossible.
So
this is one
he
of
did
those.
his own stunt. This was his own stunt that
Yeah,
he did.
He did not swim 2,000 feet, 3,000.
He is
feet up.
Superman. Okay.
Didn't do that.
Listen, I
Cruise.
enjoyed the movie. I thought they did a really good job tying in characters, and there was a twist, right? How they all tied things together, and why they made it the way they made it. So I appreciated that, and I thought it was a just overall fun movie to watch, and starting off the summer movie experience to be on the right foot, in my opinion. So
Yeah, it was a great movie, and if y'all haven't seen it yet, we just ruined a major scene, but go see it anyway. But like, if you're expecting like Tom Clancy Rainbow Six style, like this is very, very, accurate. That's not what you're gonna get.
yeah, all the nerds just understood
Which
that
is to be
reference.
expected.
All the
I mean, a lot of the-
non-nerds.
No, I mean
my
there's
bad.
there's
No, you're
shows
good.
like Reacher. Reacher is a Tom Clancy Is it a Tom Clancy thing? I thought it was a Tom
I
Clancy
think so.
So,
Go ahead, Mom.
Reacher's good.
I haven't seen the show.
Really?
I've-
Oh, you gotta
I've
watch
seen
it.
the movies. Is it still
I don't know.
it's still active?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if when the next season's coming out or if there is another season coming out because I think right
Mhm.
now there's 2 or 3 seasons out. I think it's 2 seasons. And
3.
There's 3?
Yeah.
Those 3 seasons then.
By the way, Tom Cruise is also the main character in the Reacher movies.
What?
Tom Cruise is Jack Reacher in the movies.
Yeah, in the movies. The TV show
Did I
though
watch
on
the
Prime.
movies?
Yeah.
I might have. I don't know. You were gonna say something and I cut you off.
No, it's fine. Is the seasons, I mean, I think what it was is did they switch off of Amazon Prime or are all of them on Amazon Prime?
All of them are Amazon Prime. I think it was 3.
Season 3 just came out.
Yeah, recently. That season was actually really. It was fun to watch.
So do
I
we have
haven't
homework
watched
for
it
next
yet.
week?
Well, if
haven't
we have
watched
homework
season
for next
3.
week, I mean, I can go ahead and rewatch it, but that means if we have homework for next week, you have 3 seasons to watch, my friend.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Maybe we won't do that next week. We'll push it off.
Have
But,
fun
like-
with that.
Yeah.
In other show news, I started watching an Apple TV show that was the neighbor one. I can't remember.
Oh,
what-
your friends and neighbors?
Yeah, your friends and neighbors. I think that's fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Cool concept.
It's
Never heard of
you
it.
guys,
It's a good filler show.
yeah.
Like
Like-
in between good shows. Okay, I can watch this.
With all that free time I have.
Yeah, all that free
All
time.
that free time.
So, like, for instance, that show is not something that I need to pay attention to.
Okay.
It's fun, and I can, like, for me, when I'm doing busy work for work, I like to have something playing in the background, whether it's music, whether it's something. That's where a lot of guilty pleasure TV show comes into play, and we can get into that another time. But because I'm not exposing that right now. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I
We're not
watch a
talking
lot
about
of
guilty
trash
pleasures
TV.
right now.
There's a lot of trash TV. Also, I'm a big fucking fan of all of the selling shows, like Selling Sunset, all of
real
those kind of
estate
TV
stuff?
shows. Like they have all these dramatizations of like all of this fake arguments and all this
My wife loves that
bickering back
stuff.
and forth. I don't
I'm not
care.
into
I
it.
don't necessarily care about that, but like they start talking about this $2 million property on the beach, and like I'm like, oh, I want to get one of those one day. Like,
Well,
I'm
this is
gonna-
also like a big interest of Wiz. Like he wants to buy and flip property down at the
Some
shore.
real
Like
estate.
that's he's like,
Oh, yeah.
I can do this. I can do this now. And I'm like, maybe when this podcast gets big. But I ain't doing
That's
it.
what I'm talking about.
I went on a tangent. I forgot where we were going. But yeah, the
Tom
show
Cruise.
is the question that I have for you guys. Like, let's just say, however much money you guys make, right? You guys built a fortune, and a big part of that fortune is tied up and is now nothing. You guys have nothing, right? You guys have enough money to sustain life for 3-4 months tops. If you guys had to
Oh,
resort
friends
to a
and
life
neighbors.
of crime, what would it
Oh,
be?
plot twist.
If I had to resort to a life of crime,
Yeah, what kind of crime would you be committing? Because the main character is the main guy from Mad Men, right?
Okay.
So he starts robbing all of his friends and neighbors. Like
That's
just like he'll be in their house and like he knows that they're gone, and like he'll go through the jewelry and like, oh, this watch is worth $250,000, and just takes it.
and it's like one of like 100 watches in the drawer. Like it's like they won't miss this one. I've never seen him wear it either. But like we don't have them type of opportunities. Like I don't know anybody who's got $200,000 watches. So like I ain't gonna rob my friends like or my neighbors.
Yeah, but like you
My
don't have-
neighbors ain't got anything either.
You
you know?
necessarily don't have to rob your neighbor. I'm just talking about like what kind of
Yeah.
crime are you going to commit?
I don't think I would commit a crime.
I don't know if I can answer this question
Like,
given the nature of
All right, well, fair enough. So that's a great topic.
I mean,
I personally
you know-
probably would resort to to, like, if gun against my head, I've thought about how to rob a bank so many times. I think
No
I
way.
may be able to go rob a bank.
Dude, there's like
With
there's
all
like
the
a 5% success chance in robbing a bank.
So you're
with all the
saying
surveillance,
that's a better chance than having a successful podcast.
But also like
we're gonna break the statistics.
also though, like, yo, they've made it so difficult for you to even profit from robbing a bank. Like, my back when I lived in Indiana in like 2013, 2014, I lived there for like a year, right? But there's this one dude, he had to get like 20 grand out to pay cash for something for his business, and he had to go to 7 banks
Indiana.
Yeah,
because
I
they
had
have
that
to keep a
experience
certain
firsthand.
amount of cash on reserve and blah de blah. He had to go to different they were like, you can wait 14 business days for us to collect this cash and bring it to the right place. I don't know, maybe it was 7 business days. Or you can go to these, I don't think it was 7, maybe it was like 4 banks. You go to these 4 banks, take out the full 20 grand. I was like, what the hell? I mean, granted, look, that's not like around here, but what are you going to do?
No, it is.
You're going to rob one bank and get away with what? 20 grand?
It is around here
Max?
too.
Around here too?
Because like the smaller branches, yeah, I
Yeah.
had to go to 3 different banks to take out 20 grand when I was buying a car.
There you go.
Why listen?
Why did you go get cash to buy the car? Oh, were you buying it
Because
a private seller?
no, I wanted to finance part of it, and then I wanted to use the money towards it. Probably not the best idea, but at the
They just
time,
wrote a check.
well,
robbing a bank and it says try again next time.
Sorry, we don't have any money here.
but yeah, it just to that point, it's like they said you can schedule ahead, like you can call and
Yeah.
find out, or you can come. Like they said, there's certain days when they have cash
That's
deliveries.
That's right.
So it's like you can call ahead and figure out when that would be, but you'd have to put in a request for your money, which I think is crazy because like imagine like you have $100,000 in the bank, like you don't really have $100,000. Like
No.
you have money that's in the bank, but getting that money, that's why like because fractional reserve banking is just like a complete just total nightmare. And I mean that's a topic for another discussion, but the fact that like a bank only needs to have like 10% of the cash on hand, or if that, like they take it and then they can loan out 90%, or there's some crazy
Yeah.
I don't know it completely,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's because banks are taking your money and investing it, so that's how they make their money.
that's great. Except if there was a run on the banks, nobody gets their money. Like if everybody decided to withdraw their money, you can't, because exactly like Scott said, there's like
There's
no
nothing.
money in the bank.
There's no money there. I mean, I thought that had something to do with like the Federal Reserve. They hold the cash, and then
What cash?
they whatever freaking dollars that they bring in.
Not pennies.
Are you ready for the crazy thing? They don't actually, so like they only have to have 1/10 of the money they're loaning out. The banks only have to have 1/10 of the money they're loaning out. So like that money is not actually money. It's just zeros in accounts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They can make a mortgage off of your money on a fractional basis. But we're not gonna get into that. It's depressing.
Check us on next week's episode of financing. And then Scottie. So I got lucky this week. I'm going to say I got really lucky this week. So the plan was that Scottie and Magda were going to go see Post Malone, right? Lily was going to babysit the kids, and I was going to Uber, right? So I was going to drive Scottie down, be the designated driver, let them have fun, drive around the city for a little bit, and then drive them home, right? That was the plan. So we had to leave the house at like 4:30 to get here by 4:45, so forth and so forth. And I'm walking Dutch, right? And I'm about to get to the park in my little walk. So it's like 7 minutes away from the house. And my phone rings. And it's Scottie. And I'm just assuming he wants to make sure that we're on time and, we're not late. Because
Man,
we're not
Wait,
going.
you?
Listen.
You be late? That doesn't happen, bro.
Listen, this narrative that these people paint of me about time,
Bro,
is
you
crazy.
should have heard this conversation
You guys
I had
are
with him
punctual.
yesterday. Oh my
So,
god.
I don't agree.
He was like,
with
I'm
this
never
timing.
late. I'm never late when I say I'm going to be somewhere at a certain time. And I'm like, okay, we're not going to get into this.
It's the dog's fault.
All right. First, I was on time today.
Yeah, well, you were not here at 8 a.m. You were not
I
here
was
at 8
definitely
a.m.
here at 8 a.m.
Nah, man, you started walking up at 8:10.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit.
He tried to use the example, well, my daughter was never late to a volleyball tournament. I was like, well, she better not be.
Yeah.
I'm not late to work. You know,
When there's
all
no
these things.
consequences, it doesn't
Listen,
matter.
all right. He says that the barbecue starts at 1, right? I may not be there at 1. I may be there at 1:30. But if he said, "Yo, I need you to have something here," I would be here.
Yeah, when it's serious and like you don't, when you see there's no harm in showing up a little bit late, then you show up a little bit late.
Yeah, I mean, I take my
Other
time
people get
sometimes.
annoyed by it. Like me, I have to be somewhere early. Like it's just, maybe it's because I was in the military thing. Like if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that saying. It's like to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Lily was always at her practices 30 minutes before they started. And she was always at the tournament like over an hour before they started. Work, I'm there when I need to be. And
Work, I'm there when we need to be.
but like other places, like a barbecue, I don't feel like I need to be there exactly on time.
That's
And,
fine.
like,
That's fine.
But like going to the show or going wherever I need to go, I'm going to leave early because I don't want to have to speed. Here comes another topic of conversation.
Well, we were late to
Oh.
the Kendrick Lamar concert.
Uh,
We could hear Mustard playing while we were in the parking lot.
no, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
We don't need to get into this.
I'm gonna call
anymore.
bullshit on that because I think we'd have been on time for the Mustard start if we didn't go ring around the rosy all throughout the whole stadium. We went to one side of the stadium, had to go to the other side of the stadium for the gate,
there
and
was
then
none
had to
of
go
that.
all the way
Oh,
around
yeah.
the other side of the stadium.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that.
So, I mean,
Now-
during our tour around
Now we
Lincoln Financial,
we parked at the start time.
rappers don't start on time.
Well, I understand. I understand that, but you guys wanted
The
to catch the
openers
mustard.
do.
I didn't really care about the mustard beats, but you guys wanted to catch it, and we didn't catch it. So
We caught enough of me. Here.
yeah, and it was like the bad part.
Yeah.
They were good songs. Anyway,
So
Post Malone.
I get a call about Post Malone, and I get to go. Right.
Yep.
Long story short, I get to go. Now, he didn't buy like Scottie and Anthony tickets because Scottie and Anthony tickets means Anthony budget. He bought Scottie and Magda tickets, which means Scottie and Magda budget.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different budgets.
Yep.
So Scottie and Anthony budget would be us sitting maybe 100 level, maybe 200 level up front, but like, enough where we're able to have a really good view, but not like very close. Scottie and Magda budget is 11 rows from the stage and two seats from where they're walking.
From the extension stage.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it was an amazing experience to be that close. It was,
was.
definitely an eye-opening experience.
Hell yeah.
For me to say, I can see the value in paying the extra $100 or so to get this close.
100.
I was gonna say 100. I don't know
Well,
what
to go
what
see
tickets you're
Wu
getting.
Tang would be
Few
like
hundred.
$100 or so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cheapest seats for
In the 100 levels,
for
300.
Wu Tang was 300. Yeah, and you could get floor seats for $5.
Right.
Yeah. Not
I
bad.
mean, the cheapest ticket to the Post Malone concert was 100, and I paid quite a few $100 more than that.
So, I mean, I think we should talk about the show,
Yeah.
and that experience, and then Scotty and I were comparing the two concerts together, so I guess we could go into that. So,
Okay, yeah, I'd love to hear that.
yeah, Scotty, your biggest takeaway you were talking about was just how positive it was. Talk about
Oh
that.
yeah, I mean, the positivity was resonating from Jelly Roll and from Post Malone. I mean, like, you know, if you guys even know who Jelly Roll is, but like little background, like Jelly Roll came from like being in prison, like drugs, all that, like, and now he's like one of the biggest stars. I think he was nominated in the CMA for like almost every category that he could possibly be nominated for. Like, he's gone from literally zero to hero, and like he was just so grateful, so thankful, so inspiring. And then when Post Malone came out, I don't know if you guys have seen Post Malone's first video that he ever made, but like the chances that he was going to go from that to where he's at now, I mean, I don't know what those odds are, but they're not good. If you bet $1 on him back then, you'd probably be a multimillionaire. So
he also
like
talked
he
about
was
that.
very, you know, appreciative, you know, he thanked us and bowed to us like in between every song, you know, and it was very inspiring to people, like, go out for your stuff. Like, so I thought that was like a huge, I mean, it was uplifting for me. It was like, hey, I need to follow my dreams kind of thing. Very inspiring. So it was very positive vibe and everything like that. So
Yeah, I mean, he was talking about how a lot of people said that he wouldn't make it, and
yep,
how
all the haters.
just chase your dreams, and if he could do what he's doing today for us, whatever we want to do can be done if we just continue to put the work in, right? And I do agree. Jelly Roll's music is a lot of homage to God and like just very uplifting, right? There was one song that he sung. He was talking about like Hallelujah, and like he was like praising, and it started to rain, and a double rainbow appeared
What?
in
Yeah,
the
that was
sky.
super
It was
cool.
nuts. It was literally crazy. Like he's like pouring his heart out right in front of everyone, and then all of a sudden this huge double rainbow appears above the stadium behind it. I got a pretty dope picture. I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a video.
Wow.
But it
That's
was
special.
yeah,
it was
yeah,
cool.
it was pretty cool.
That was
And like I would like the set design for the stage, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
Good.
it almost looked like a trailer or like a
It's like a diner, gas station, something.
for
Garage.
Jelly Roll,
Yeah.
right? And there was like different LED pictures that changed throughout his set.
Like
Okay.
street signs and stuff, and
And then when he was
was
done,
stuff.
they completely dismantled. I didn't think they were going to dismantle it, and he was like,
I was like, "Yo, they're gonna take that whole thing apart."
and I didn't think they were. I thought they were going to keep it. So they took that down in 30 minutes and then set up post whole set in 30 minutes. And like his whole set was completely different. And like the whole back of the stage was like an LED screen where you were in the middle of the desert at one point, and it was just like it was mind blowing what was happening. And the one thing I could say is I loved our seats, but I almost wish we were like row 20, like right where at the end of the stage.
Yeah.
So that way, because post the whole time, like first and foremost, I applauded Kendrick and SZA for the amount of stamina that they had, because they were on set for 3 hours, right? And they were going back and forth, and they were all over the stage, right? And they were going crazy. And Post was on stage for 2 hours by himself, no breaks.
I feel like 2.5.
And
almost.
he was up and down, up and down, up and down, like constantly. And like he was constantly up, right? So like if like this way is the stage,
Okay.
he kept walking past us and over here.
Oh.
So we kept looking at him. I mean, like, not that we were far, but we were looking at him, and the stage was having a whole bunch of shit go on.
So you couldn't
Right.
see both.
Yeah, there was pyrotechnics, there was fireworks, there was a whole bunch of shit
Yep.
happening. And I'm like, I'm doing like the whole squirrel, like
Yeah.
trying like position myself, but like,
That's a good problem to have.
I said at the end of the show, I was like, yo, if I bought front row seats, I would have been hot. I would have been so mad because he was on. I want to say that he went on stage, like the main stage, maybe like 5 times.
Yeah, it was like 5%.
He was walking in between. Like I was like, yo, I think it was like 2,500 to get front row seats. I was like, dang, he was closer to me more than he was to the front row people the whole time.
Wow.
I was like, that's crazy, and I didn't spend anywhere near. I didn't even go over a G per seat, so you know, I was very happy about that. But we messed up at the end.
Oh yeah, we messed up at the end.
Wow.
We
What happened?
messed up at the end big time.
Well,
First and foremost, I'll take some blame. Like I was one track minded for like the end. What I mean by that is Jelly Roll's set was done, and they started taking down the stage, and I didn't know how much time I had between that and when Post started, and I needed to piss.
Okay.
Now, they didn't have any porta potties on the ground level. You had to get off of ground level, go back into the stadium, and use the stadium bathroom. So I was like, I don't know how much time I had. Now, mind you, Scottie left in the beginning during the opening act.
Yep.
Chandler
Walters.
Yeah. To go get merch, right? So, speaking of merch,
hell
dope
yeah.
shirt.
This is dope as
All
fuck.
right.
But he went to get merch, and I was like, I'm just going to chill here, right? And he didn't get back until maybe 3 songs into Jelly Roll set. So I was like,
wow.
No, there's
That
no...
long?
Yeah, it was...
Oh, dude, the line was... I was in line for like 30 minutes at least.
Holy.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was sitting... like, to the left of me, there were 2 women, right? And one of the women went to the bathroom and then came back and said the line was crazy. And they said that women were lining up to go into the men bathroom stalls.
Yeah,
That's how bad it was.
I was going into the men's bathroom, and I was like, does this woman in front of me know that this is the men's bathroom? And then there was a woman's line for the stalls.
In the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
And the woman behind us, when she came back and told us the story, said, oh yeah, we were at Morgan Wallen a couple weeks ago, and there were women pissing in the urinal. Like, they were lifting up skirts and like straddling the urinal and pissing.
That's so nasty, bro.
That is
so
disgusting.
That's so gross.
How I Met Your Mom in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And
Funny
pissing in
story.
the urinal.
I mean,
true love story.
Honor.
But yeah,
Or is it?
Or is it? Post Malone definitely had a just good old. It was a very positive and uplifting. It was fun. It was just a fun concert.
It was.
What would you guys say? Oh, my bad.
No, good.
What would you guys say was your best, like the best part or your favorite part of it combined?
My favorite part? I mean, it was all good. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question because it was. Maybe you know what? At the end, he went up into this like box of light, and it was like it had to be like, I don't know, 30 feet off the ground.
Did you ever watch
in the middle of the stadium, which was like that was pretty cool.
So like just suspended in air in a box of light.
Yep. I mean, it was a big box. Like it was probably like a container. You seen like containers on trucks,
shipping container.
Yeah, shipping containers, like probably that size. And it was
okay.
But like it was wide open. You know, there were rails and stuff, but like it was lit up, and there was a whole light show on that.
Wow.
And he's just like suspended 30 feet in the air in this box.
Yeah, and he's saying congratulations,
yep.
Which is a positive song,
yep.
right? And then that's when he sort of gave the speech about being able to like chase your dreams.
Yep.
Right. So that whole thing was pretty dope. He played a lot of songs from albums that I listened to when he first came out. Like he did it from Stoney, Beer Bongs, and that was fun. But he brought out AI, which I didn't even think about.
Yeah, he did.
And that was pretty dope. Like,
Yep.
Oh,
because like he has that song White Iverson, right? Like, so, he was like, this song brings home to you guys in Philly, and he starts. You hear the White Iverson song start to click in, and then all of a sudden, AI starts walking out. So that was pretty cool.
Which, of course, we didn't see at first because Post Malone was on the extension stage and AI comes out the main stage. So we're looking back, and then he starts walking towards the main stage, and we're like, "Oh, there he is! Yo, that's AI!"
and for
Yeah,
anyone
like-
wondering, when they say AI, they're talking about Allen Iverson,
yeah,
Not artificial intelligence,
Not
not
and,
artificial intelligence.
That's right.
and not Andre Iguodala, but yeah. So I thought it was dope, for him to do that, and I know Jelly Roll, and I've listened to a lot of his music, and I didn't know how big he was. Like, people were there, like, specifically just for Jelly Roll,
Yep.
which
Wow.
that's pretty awesome, right? When you
That's
think
crazy.
about, like, the woman next to me, she was like, I know Post, I like Post and like some of his stuff, but I'm here for Jelly Roll. And
Yep.
like her niece was, and I say niece, but they're only 3 years difference, right? She was there for Post, right? So like it was just
Okay.
interesting to see that dynamic. But yeah, I mean, overall, I would say the best part of the concert was seeing appreciation.
Yeah.
Appreciation, seeing somebody make it that big, 10 years, just be extremely appreciative to everyone that spent money to go to the show. Like Scottie said, he constantly bowed down to everyone,
Yep.
thanking everyone, like almost every song, right? And Jelly Roll was just super thankful for Post bringing him on the
Yep.
tour, right?
Yep.
And just showing and talking about how great of a just human being he is. Because like you hear those horror stories, right, where like your favorite person, right, ends up being just a straight asshole,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But everyone talked so highly of him, like on and off the stage, which is pretty dope.
And I mean, you see that a lot in social media too. Like, it's not new news that Post Malone is a really cool and like nice dude. Like, even our friend told us that he went to like one of his friends' house parties and Post Malone was there.
Oh,
was, like,
just
years
out of the
ago.
blue.
Yeah, like randomly, like after a show, like he was in town after a show or something, and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to this house party." Like, but like, I mean, the dude is a really good guy, but like, to see, Jelly Roll confirming that, right? Like, yo, Post Malone's the greatest person I've ever hung out with, on and off the stage. Like, it was good. Yo, but
I
I have a
guess-
question about that. These guys, I think they're going to 27 cities. Could you keep like, they say this about each other every other night? Like, I mean, Post Malone was also very appreciative that Jelly Roll went on the tour with him, right? Like, he kept thanking Jelly Roll and talking him up and everything. And I mean, obviously you have to talk up your, the people, but like, this was like over the top, right? Not over the top, but it was more than what you usually experience. But like, imagine, how do they keep that up for 27? Like,
Well,
So
from
like,
you have
Go
to
ahead.
like, go ahead.
real quick, that probably just, I mean, for one, that probably has something to do with how big they are, right? Because like you said, you can tell genuine authenticity. Like, that's not
Yep.
something you can fake. Like, you
Mhm.
see it. I mean, there are some people that can fake it, maybe psychopaths or sociopaths or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
like, genuine authenticity and the appreciation and gratitude for stuff. I mean, that just, if you truly feel it, which it seems like they truly feel it, then it's not like they're trying to do it. That's just how they feel. They're
True.
just being themselves and expressing themselves in every show. So like, imagine, put yourself in their shoes. Like, your mind probably just like blown. You're like, I can't believe this is my life. I'm doing what I want to do. I
Yeah.
got people here that I care about, or people here that care about me. I'm able to do all this for other people, or I'm able to bring good into the world. Like, just imagine how that would make you feel if you had a similar scenario as Jelly Roll, for example.
Right.
Like at that point, you're like, shit. I mean, this is possible. My life was crazy. Now I'm in this amazing position, and I can give hope to other people, or I can bring positive, like, and that in itself. I mean, sure, 27 cities, but okay, 27 nights. I mean, whatever. That's in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that much.
Right.
But that's just my.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's good insight. I didn't really, I never tried to put myself in their shoes, so like I didn't think of it from that aspect. But also, I haven't made it big yet, so.
Yeah, I mean,
follow and subscribe and comment.
I think from a Jelly Roll perspective, it's very easy, right? Because he is extremely appreciative. Like he, coming from where he is, and everyone still knows him, but still selling out a stadium tour is not easy, right? Selling out like small venues is one thing, and Scotty and I looked this up. Like they say, Post is going to make $500,000 off of every stop
per show.
So if he's making $500,000 off of every stop, you're assuming that Jelly Roll may be making at least 100. So
probably
he's going to make off of 27 stops
2.7
million, right? And yeah, and that means what does that do for him forever, right?
Right.
Like he talked about breaking generational wealth, poverty.
But he's already done that. I mean,
no, he broke it so that way it's done, but it's broken now for all of the next generations for him.
Yeah.
If he invests the money the way he should.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's easy for Post to do, because if you're in any bit of reflection, right, and you're reflecting it all in regards to like your life, and over the last 10 years, from your first music video, like you said, all the way up until where you are today, it's completely night and day. So I think for me, if I were to put myself in those shoes, I would be extremely thankful. Like if someone gave me the opportunity and a handout to like be able to do that and be able to break that curse of generational poverty, right? I don't think there would be enough words that I can say on a consistent basis to show my appreciation.
Right.
But yeah, overall an amazing experience. Thank you, Scotty. Sorry that Magda couldn't go.
I know.
But
I wish I could have experienced it with her.
But
hey, we got more. We got more for this show, so.
Which leads us into a topic that I've been really waiting to talk about. Last of Us, episode 6. We haven't talked about, and the season finale yesterday, which I'm dying to hear some of that commentary.
Mo, kick us off, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so obviously I didn't play the game, so I don't have a lot of the background on it. But with episode 6, obviously the way it starts off, the fact that they're now like, it's in town, she's leaving, they make their way out, they make their way to Seattle, the whole back and forth, running around, the finding out that, because I believe that's episode 6 when they find out that Dina is pregnant. No, that's episode
6 is the Joel episode.
Sorry, episode 7 then. So 7 and then 8, right?
That's right.
No. There's only 7 total. 6 is like
You're talking about episode 5, which we talked about. That's the one with the Seekers, and that's when you find out that she's pregnant.
That's.
I think you find that out before.
That one. Wait a second. So episode 6 was the flashback.
Yes.
Okay, that was with his dad and
with Joel and Ellie. And when and his dad is the cop. That's right.
Yeah,
his childhood. Okay. So go ahead. I forgot.
You're good.
Spaced out.
No, you're good.
Keep going.
So yeah, all right, that's where they come back and they do like they lay the foundation for the reckoning between the two of them, and like the scene where they cut in the earlier episode, they cut showing as if they didn't speak again before she went, or before he went out into went out to go do whatever he was doing, went out on the watch. I thought it was great. It was great and it was bad at the same time, because it just brought back all the emotions even stronger, because now it's like fuck, right in the gut. But at the same time, it was nice because it shows that they did at least get some, like, it wasn't left on the note that we all thought it was based on the previous episodes. Like, it shows that they reconciled. She understands. He admitted to what he did. She said she could try to forgive him. And then it kind of lays the groundwork to show that now she's going to be unrelenting or relentless in going after Abby and figuring out, like, basically not letting it go and doing whatever she needs to do. So I thought that was a great way to tie everything into then leading into the last episode. Should I go into the last episode, or how about this? How about we'll do the sixth one, and then you guys give me your take on it, and then we can go into the last one.
Yeah, I based on what I've been telling Scotty and talking to other people about, I think 6 really solidified the dramatization, right? And leaning more into that, because in the games you don't know anything about Joel's past, right? Like, so one thing that, like, in the very beginning, the one thing that was like really like hit like was when him and his father were talking, and he said, when it's your turn, maybe you can do better than me. And I was like, oh boy.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, right, because like
that hit home for me too.
I didn't necessarily have the best upbringing, so that was just like, oh boy, that, like, because all you can do, right, is, and we Scotty and I had conversations about just, I don't understand people who have lived a certain life and know a certain life and not want to change that, right? I don't get it. Like, that's not how I'm wired. Like, so I grew up poor, right? Growing up broke, we didn't have shit. And I never wanted to experience that anymore. I want more than that, right? So, like, there's that, right? And then, like, with just growing up, that hit like a sack of bricks. And then I do have a question about something that went on in that episode, but I'll let Scotty talk about how his takeaway was before I ask that question.
Nah, ask your question, because I'm gonna go from 6 and I'm gonna lead into 7.
Okay. Then they had this scene where he's teaching her how to play the guitar, right? What's a song that brings you like really in-depth emotion? I have a couple. Like, the first time, I'll give you one. The first time I listened to Eminem's track Headlights, where he's talking about his mom and apologizing, I'm gonna tear up now. I was driving and I had to pull over. I couldn't drive, like, at all. Like, I was full-fledged in tears because it brought on a lot of like just realness to me. And I mean, movies do that, right? I could watch a movie and feel real empathy, but like, there's something about music that can just bring really strong emotions, whether that be something.
So I'm a long time Panic at the Disco listener.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of mama drama in my life. Like, I haven't talked to my mother for a couple years, and like and like we've been back and forth, not talking, whatever. But like, one thing that gets me, and it's kind of uplifting, but it's also a little sad, is their song "Hey Look Ma, I Made It," because I see myself as like, I'm doing pretty well off for myself, and like from where I came from and like what I went through in my life as a young adult, or no, I mean before that, like as a teenager and all that, like the statistics don't put me where I'm at, right? So, so that always like gets me, and people always give me crap like, this is why do you always listen to this song? And I'm like, you wouldn't understand. So what do you think? What do you think, Muhammad?
I don't have a song. Now that you guys are mentioning this, I don't have like there hasn't been a moment like that where there's any specific song that I felt, anything crazy about in terms of what you guys are mentioning. Like obviously there's certain songs that bring me back to experiences like, a concert or show or whatever, and I get a strong response from it, but nothing on like like such an emotional level that you guys are referring to, because thankfully, I mean, yeah, I had a tough upbringing. I had a bunch of things to deal with, but I just lean into the more being grateful from where I'm at, and it hasn't like I haven't associated any specific song with an event that led me to have like a strong emotional response to it.
Right.
Obviously, I'll try and think about one and then maybe come back with that, later on, but there's not one that like pops out in my mind that I can refer to as, an example that matches what you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, right? Like another song of mine would be um Mockingbird. There's two Eminem tracks, right? Like
Yeah.
Mockingbird is like to his daughters, right? So like that.
Dang, bro, Eminem really
Well, those
really
two
lives in your heart, huh?
No, those two, like the mom one.
Got a man crush?
Yeah, a man crush. He's one of the ghosts, bro.
I mean, he is.
One
A lot of people
ghosts.
have man crushes on him.
But those two were the big things for me in that episode. Just like you said, it was just more building that bond and that relationship. And yeah, now you're gonna see the Ellie that we saw in the very beginning of the games anyway, right? Like now it's starting to come to the screen of that. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, so episode 6 was crazy. One, I want to applaud them in keeping true to, the main storyline, like the game, right? This was a whole cut, in the game. This whole scene, it played out pretty much exactly the way it played out in the game for episode 6. And like Ellie was too young in the first game to really understand who Joel was before. I mean, there were hints in the first game that Joel, like the stuff that Joel and Tommy did, and like slaughters, right? Like just straight slaughters. Very similar to, I mean, it was kind of the foreshadowing of what was going to happen to the Fireflies in, what was it, Utah? Were they in Utah? I think it was, where was that Firefly place? I think it was
Salt Lake City. Yeah,
Salt
I think
Lake
it was
City.
Utah.
Oh, it was in, yeah, it was, yes. Was it Salt Lake City?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that was all like foreshadowing, and obviously Joel slaughtered the Fireflies. Like basically, Fireflies got destroyed because Joel killed them.
All
But
of them.
Yeah.
But it's funny to see, and when I say I'm gonna lead into episode 7, is that like Ellie at that point when she confronts him is at an age where she does understand, and she's like, oh my god, like this guy is a monster. Like how many people did he kill, right? And like look at all these people I could have saved. It's very selfish, this, that, and the other thing. But then I think in episode 7, when she gets back to the theater and starts talking to Dina, she realizes, oh shit, I'm turning into Joel. Like I'm becoming Joel. I'm becoming the monster. Like I just beat this woman to death to try and get some information out of her to kill Abby, right? Like so I'm interested to see how the screen plays this out. I already know how this plays out, from the game aspect, but I'm very interested to see, and to hear your guys' comments, especially you, Muhammad, because you don't know what's coming up. So, but yeah, that was kind of my take. Season, it was necessary to see that character development, to see that Ellie's gonna start realizing, oh man, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think they did a good job from tying in those pieces. I do like the certain elements of the game that they grabbed, like her riding the boat and all that.
Mhm.
Like they could have cut that out, right? Like
They coulda cut
they
that
didn't
out, yeah.
have to do that, but that ties into some of the other things.
Oh yeah.
So I found that interesting and fun to watch. Um, I I really just all of the characters blend really really well together. And they do a really good job from a standpoint of what's the guy's name that impregnated Dina?
Jesse.
Jesse. Like Jesse and Ellie's relationship and how that goes back and forth, very similar to the game. And Tommy, like it just very. I really love it, and I don't want to go further than what I just did because I want to know your stance from somebody who hasn't played the game.
From a full
Yeah.
season. From a full
Or
season.
no, from like episode 7.
Oh yeah.
They have a real complex relationship. I mean, it's fucked up. It's fucked up at the end. Like,
Yep.
because she's questioning herself after she tortures that girl. I don't remember what that Nora, right? After
Yep,
she tortures Nora, she makes her speak. She's questioning herself, and then at that point, it kind of shows like spoiler alert, like spoiler beyond spoiler alert, on all of what we're talking about. So whoever got this far, whoops, my bad. You know,
Well, we warned them. We said we were going to talk about episode 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
all right. Yeah. So like, she starts to accept that maybe she wasn't gonna find Abby, and then as they're making their way back, they separate out, they leave Dina behind. They're going. Then all of a sudden, was it lightning that struck, or no? There was a storm, and they heard something. They heard over the radio there was fighting going on there. They're looking. He's like, okay, well the pier's there, and then she's looking in the distance, and she sees wheel or the Ferris wheel or whatever, and she sees the whale, and there's whale wheel, and then she's like, oh well, this is here. And then it's like at that moment, you're like, oh, is he gonna go with her? Is he not gonna go with her? And then he's like, I wish you luck. I hope you make it, because at that point he's like, I spoke my piece. I told you I voted no. I voted against the excursion to come find you. But then the explanations and everything, it makes sense, because I was talking to Farah about it, and she's like, he has no backbone. He's weak. He's this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, there's that. And at the same time, it's like he's looking at the future. He's looking at maintaining things. He's looking at being that, community figure that someone that people can put their trust and their faith in, and realize that he's not gonna, like, he's going to keep it unbiased, right? Like he's gonna look at it from the perspective of the best thing for everybody. And obviously I have my feelings about the water and the boat and the wave and the fact that there's gas in it, and then like after it gets shipped, after it just somehow ends up stranded on the shore. So this goes back to the suspending disbelief, right? It's a movie, it's a TV series. You're going into it, you're like, okay, that did not happen. There's no way that happened in real life. Like, she's not just washing up on shore somehow with the boat next to her. Like, okay, that goes to the game maybe. Then of course, perfect timing. She's getting hung, and then the bells go off in town because whatever's happening. So she gets saved because she's the main character. She can't die right now, at least. I don't know what the future holds. But then, like, then she makes it back, and then she gets into the, whatever that building aquarium was, or whatever it was. And, it's almost like, why did he have to try her? And then she shoots him, and then it goes straight through him, right into that other girl. I don't remember that girl's neck.
Mel.
And then it's like, what's her name?
Mel,
right? Goes into Mel's neck, and then all of a sudden she's on the ground, and you see she moves her shirt or whatever happened, and you see boom, baby. And then it's like, wow, now this is like get fucked in the head, because it just
I'm gonna be a dad.
Yeah, don't even get me started on I'm
right?
Anyway,
Yeah,
whatever.
the trauma,
right? Like,
the trauma there. Oh my god.
because she's like, the girl's asking her, like, at that point, you know, because I think Mel understands too. Like, she realized that, like, they're in a bad spot either way. And, you know, he obviously didn't believe that she wasn't going to hurt them, but I believe that she wasn't going to hurt them because
She wasn't.
that the whole thing was she said she's not like him. But at the same time, it's like you shot at her or you went to shoot her. So,
But then she pulled his trick. She pulled his trick.
Yep.
Like, that was his trick in season 1. I think it was in season 1. It was in the game, in game 1. He did the same thing. He was like, you're going to show me where these people are on this map. And if you guys are not the same, you're both going to die. And then
that's what Joel did.
He killed them anyway.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. He was going to kill them. But
she wasn't going to.
I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't
mean,
think she was.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't. Based on the reaction, like,
and the character arc development.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the context clues say that she was going to let them live, and like everything is flashing before her, right? Like,
right.
Dina's gonna have a child.
Man.
That could be Dina right there. Like, she doesn't want to do this
Oh,
anymore.
yeah,
She
yeah,
doesn't want to
yeah.
be like out for blood and out for vengeance. There's been so much blood spilt. She understands why Abby's doing what she's doing because her father was murdered by Joel.
Yeah.
So now they're even, right? Like, and she didn't want to do it, and she's willing to sacrifice herself for the people that she loves and cares about.
Yeah.
And that's the way I'm taking the ending.
But we didn't even get into that yet.
Well, yeah. And then day one, Seattle. How did you feel about that aspect?
So I wonder if the reason for that was basically to show how much training Abby has and the fact that she was there from the beginning. So, like, that's why she's significant, because she was one of the initial pieces, and that's why the dude, what's that guy that was from Westworld?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about, right? I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
The lead commander, if you want to call him that,
yes.
whatever he is.
I forgot his name
from
in
the-
the.
Isaac.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Isaac.
Maybe that
Isaac.
sounds right. Anyway, so like he's talking about how, we need her. Also, I don't know what's happening with, like, obviously it looks like they're gonna blow the place up, or they're gonna burn it, or they're gonna do something.
You'll find out. You'll find
right?
out.
And they're all going away. But then, like, obviously that's the whole emphasis on Abby and how important she is, because, like, I guess she was there from day one. I don't know the specifics of it from the storyline based on the movies or the games or anything. But then the fact that she tracked them down, found them, then Jesse and Ellie actually make up. You know, they get to the point where they come to terms, and then all of a sudden you hear the yelling and screaming outside. They run out. The second Jesse comes through the door, boom, shot in the face. And he's dead now.
Dead.
So all of it, now that just goes through to what Tony was saying before, his point of, like, she's coming to terms with understanding that, like, Abby is justified in what she's doing, and they're both justified in what they're doing, but for different reasons. And it's like, at what cost, and then at what point do we call it an end? And then the way they end the season, I think obviously we all know, or we feel that we know, that Dina shot her.
Shot who?
Abby.
Well, I don't know what is that your takeaway?
That's my guess. I don't know, like,
Oh,
Yeah. Well, you'll find out.
you'll find out.
I'm guessing Ellie died then, maybe.
You'll find out.
No
I don't know.
facial expressions. I'm trying to keep this. You got to wait till next year, bro.
right.
I'll say
Fine.
one of the most frustrating things about, this, for me, having played the game so recently and watching the show, is that, like, I'm seeing all this, like, little stuff that people are like, oh, that's weird. Like you said, like, the boats leaving. I know why the boats are leaving. I know the scene that happens after, like, when the boats get to their destination. Like, I know all of this information already, and it's like, so, like, I feel like for somebody watching it fresh, you're like, what the hell's going on?
Like, I know something's happening, but they don't give any backstory.
You will find out. I guarantee you. And you're
figured,
gonna be sitting here next year, like, watching season 3, and you'll be like, that was why that happened in season 2. It's gonna be great. But it's frustrating for me because I'm like, dang, like I know why.
In the game though, didn't you play as Abby first?
No.
You
So
played- oh,
there were really like 3 cuts. You play as Ellie first. You get to basically where the season ended, and then you play as Abby, and then you play as Ellie again.
you're right. You're right. You're right. So yeah,
So-
they're I can you Google it real quick? And his name is Isaac. Have they been renewed for season 3 and 4?
I don't know.
I know definitively season 3, but I thought I
After
read 4.
this season, come on, dude, they've got to.
Well, they were already
they're definitely
renewed for
renewed it.
season 3
Yeah.
before the season started.
Yeah.
I think they renewed for season 4 already, but I could be mistaken.
Right.
I don't see specific on season 4, but obviously season 3 they're renewed on. So 2 endings and 4 other big changes. Last of Us season 3 release date. Yeah, as episode. I don't see anything specific about season 4. It says The Last of Us will need a 4th season. So I mean, that seems to be the consensus that there will be 4 seasons.
Well,
Based on what you guys
mean-
are mentioning as well, but it doesn't definitively show.
Yeah, I mean, I've been holding this back, and I've been holding this back from our conversations with Wiz. There's no way they can get through the rest of the game in 1 season. Like, if they do, they're rushing it. There's so much to cover with Abby. I got through the first part, like basically where this season is in the game, and I was like, whew, I'm halfway done. No, I'm not. I was like a third of the way done. I was like,
That's
oh
literally-
my god, there's so much more. Like, and then like when you come back as Ellie, like there's like this whole other thing, and they can go deep into that, and that can cause spin-offs, and like so like
well, we also
they
talked
have to have
about-
season 4, and that's just
So
the
to your
first 2
point,
games.
Craig Mazin, I guess he's the showrunner. Is that guy who like wrote it or is like in whatever?
Yeah,
Says that there's no way to complete the narrative in season 3.
yeah.
To your point, so
Yeah, and this gives. I've been saying that I don't think another game's in the work because that's what we've been told. Scottie's been under the impression that another game is currently being developed.
They've been developing it.
So this gives it enough time to then get another season underway. Because you think about it, we'll probably get season 3 sometime next year, probably towards the latter half of next year.
Yeah.
And then we'll get season 4 in 2027, 2028. So we have a good portion of time before season 5 needs to be developed, which means there's enough time to get another game underway.
Yo, I just want to say, I have seen, so kind of like off topic of the season, but like the hate that Bella Ramsey is getting
oh,
is, I just want to call everybody out. It's uncalled for. Like, look, I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, maybe she's not cast right. I personally don't believe that. Like, that's your opinion, right? But like when people, like she's getting personally attacked on social media because she's like non-binary. She doesn't like, she chooses they, them, but like, she also said like, I don't care what you call me, but, and I keep calling her she, but I mean, she is a biological female, I believe. Like, yo, y'all need to get off this hate. Like, holy crap, dude. Like, yo, first of all, her attitude in the show is exactly like Ellie's. Maybe she doesn't look like Ellie, but like,
Buzz Lightyear?
when have they ever, I mean, there's some other shows where I can say some things that I don't really want to say, but I'm like, well, they don't look like that either. You know what I mean? Like, or movies, right?
Oh, tell us what you
But
wanna say.
get like, y'all gotta stop. Like, y'all gotta stop with this. Like, I mean, look, you want to make fun of like the Buzz Lightyear thing was fun, but like, I'm sure that was hurtful for her, right? For her own image. But like, the whole like getting on her and like the straight threats that are like, she like canceled her account.
I don't
She
agree
was
with any
getting,
of that. I was
like-
making the Buzz Lightyear joke, but I think
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of the Buzz Lightyear conversation was positive, right? Like she should have been casted for that role. Like I'm not trying to like. It's funny, right? It is
Yeah.
because I can't unsee it, but like I don't
Yeah.
wish her any of the other negative stuff. I just thought
Yeah.
it was fun.
Bella, we love you. I think you're doing a great job on Ellie. If you want to come on the show, and I know we're small, but if you want to come on the show and share your opinion, let us know. I'll hit you up.
Yeah,
But
go call her.
I'll hit your people up.
Yeah, her people will call our people.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's what
our
happened.
people will talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all got to stop the hate. Like, I think she's doing do you guys think she's doing a great job as Ellie?
I mean, I personally playing the game, I think everything is playing out the way it should play out. And I think she's doing a really good job. I think the
Absolutely.
acting overall has been really good.
Very talented actor.
Yeah, it
Actress.
seems fitting. I mean, she plays the role good. I don't really know anything from the game to add, commentary on that part, but seems to fit the role perfectly as far as, personality and the way she's acting. So
Right.
I don't have anything to compare it to. So
Yeah, I know.
as far as
I
I'm
know.
concerned, she's doing great.
Yeah.
So, recap of season 2. What is your guys' final grade? Well, because we didn't do season 1, obviously we weren't around. So, I guess give a grade on season 1 and then a grade on season 2.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure how much more we're gonna see from Pedro Pascal. But they could not have picked a better Joel.
Oh, he
Like
killed that
like
stuff.
one spitting freaking image from the game. Like, yo, Muhammad, while I'm talking, look up picture of Joel in the game and picture of Pedro Pascal as Joel. Like, spitting image.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's
perfect.
literally
Yeah, right? Perfect
Him.
personality. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about how, Bella doesn't look like Ellie, but that's okay. But Joel is like the perfect person to be in that role.
Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro. I'm forgetting who he
Joel's
is.
the perfect person to be in that role. Oh, is he?
Pedro.
That's great.
Pedro's the perfect person for Joel. Dude, he did an amazing job. And the only reason why I'm gonna say B+ is because of episode 2.
Oh my god, the hate on episode 2.
All right, maybe A-. A-.
Okay. And what about season 1?
Season 1 was great. I mean,
Okay.
I give that a straight A. Like, I don't know, maybe A+.
Okay.
What do you think, Muhammad?
I can't give a letter rating. I'd have to go back and recap it because I'm like that there was just so much throughout both seasons that like it's a blur. I mean, I kind of prefer like the first season was a good build up. The second season had more action in certain areas, and then the last few episodes it was kind of just. It seems like I don't know if they're with it just being Ellie and Dina and they're being separated, kind of lulled a little bit. There was a lot of just like emptiness. Obviously, it shows like it feels like there's a piece missing from the show, or like with Joel being gone. So, I mean, all things included, I'd probably rate. I guess if I have to, I'd say like season 1 be like an A+, and then season 2 like a B+.
Fair. I can see what you're saying. Season 1 is an A+ for me, hands down. And I think season 2, I come from the situation like I get the difference between the game and the on-screen adaptation. So, being that I understand why it's happening and how it's happening, I'll give them an A-. I do see some of the points, but I'll give them an A because it sort of mirrors some of the game and how that's being played. I think long term, I think that grade can be changed in some aspects just by seeing how other things play out.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and not really a spoiler alert, but season 3, yo, it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick
That's what I
up.
figured. It seems like it's all
There's
like
gonna
gearing
be
towards that. They're slow roll building it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Season 3 will be fun. So that's our take on Last of Us. I do have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Cheating. What is your definition of cheating? I would like to go into like different thought processes in regards to this.
I think, I don't know. I have to think on this. Muhammad, what do you think?
I don't know. I have to think on this.
What do you think?
It's such a broad. I mean, it depends, right? It's very personal. So cheating is defined by the person, right? Like you could feel like someone could feel that being friends with another person, there's a threshold, and it's all very specific to each individual. Like you may feel, all right, you're talking to that person too much. I think it's getting along the lines of like cheating, or you're being too what's the word? Intimate with that person. I think it's getting to that point. I don't think there's a real black and white definition. I think it's very nuanced in terms of history, in terms of specifics. For example, like say you're married, your friends are married, and the one person is the better one at planning or coordinating. So say like your wife communicates with your friend because they're better at coordinating and planning things, and like, okay, they're always talking more than, so like in that scenario, one person will look at it and say, why is your friend talking to your wife so much? Another scenario, it would be like, okay, well, because we just know that they are better at planning and coordinating things. So like, I don't think there's a one size fits all for that. And I think there's a threshold, like, there could be something where I think in my mind, I'm talking to this person on a level of it not meaning anything. It's fine. But then on the other end, that person is looking at it from a perspective of, oh, I'm into this guy, or there's something about him that like, I don't know. It's like super nuanced. But there's obviously some, clear cut cheating where it's like, obviously if you're getting physical with another person, that's
that's clear cut.
I think it's a little,
cheating.
I think it's a little more than that. I mean, or a little less than that, right? I mean, obviously physical, that's 100%, right? Like
I'm saying
like,
clear cut, like
kisses,
there's no
kisses, whatever. But like, I have a different opinion on that. But first, I'm gonna go into like, I think overall there is cheating, and then there is what makes me jealous, right? And
okay.
and I think that people,
Conflate the two?
make that all one thing. Like if you make me
conflate the two,
jealous, that's cheating. You know what I mean? But some people
So
can
Okay.
define that.
Well, some people can be jealous if you just talk. Like, this isn't my wife, but like there are girls out there who are like, you're talking to another girl, like you're making me jealous. And that depends on the girl, right? Like it would be like if that girl thinks she's more beautiful than me and you're talking to her, then boom, she's jealous, right? And maybe it's the way you talk to a girl, but like, some people like Wiz can be very flirtatious when he talks to women. And it doesn't matter.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, look, you're
Very-
not cheating on anybody.
very
this isn't
flirtatious.
hurting you at all. But like, like he can be very flirtatious when he talks to women, and it doesn't. That's just the way he talks. Like, and you can go into your.
I don't know. I don't see that.
These are but
turning-
that's who you are. That's why you don't see it, right? But like,
Yeah.
and I can see how like, his partner, which he doesn't have a partner right now, but like his partner could get jealous from that. And then they could automatically be like, well, that's cheating because you're being flirty with another girl. I think cheating has to have some intent. Like, I think you can be cheating by communicating with a person that you have some malintent on, right? Like if you're in your
Okay.
head, right? Like if you're like hiding the fact you're going to go hang out with this person,
Cheating.
I feel like that's cheating. right? Like,
If
why
it's not
are
something you could tell the other person.
Yeah, like, why are you hiding this, right? If you're taking some sort of step to, like, give some shade to some things that, you know, that you're doing with another person, then I like, at that point there's malintent. That's cheating. It's like, you don't have to kiss them, but if you, like, if Magda told me she's going to hang out with her girlfriends and she knew there was going to be a guy there that, she finds attractive and likes to hang out with, and didn't tell me, that's cheating. Now, that's also cheating that we can come back from, right? There's a certain level of cheating where it's like, are we going to still be
threshold.
together? Right. Like, are we still going to be together after this? Right?
Interesting.
I mean, now what if that person?
Good.
What if that person just showed up? Like, it wasn't as if like she knew they were going to be there, but they happened to show up.
No,
and
I
it
mean,
wasn't like
what? Yeah, whatever. I mean, like, I'm saying, like, she has to, like, that woman for me has to take a step to hide the fact that, look, whatever. I mean, if she's, and look, we're all physically attracted to random people throughout our life, right?
Yeah.
And there are some people where, you have a connection with, just like, like, we can talk and we can talk forever. Like, we have a connection where we can talk forever. I'm not physically attracted to either of you, but there are females.
Are you sure?
Yeah, right.
There are females.
Are you sure?
Yeah, right.
There are females that you have that same level of connection with in life, right?
Yeah.
And like, there can be those things, but also, like, you're in a relationship, you need to keep that open communication to say, yeah, I'm going to be hanging out with this person, they're going to be there. But if you're hiding the fact that they're there, then that's a problem.
And then one step further, one-on-one hangouts. What's your take on one-on-one hangouts with opposite sex?
I mean, I think that depends on the situation.
Explain.
Like,
or give an example, I should say. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Like, so my, I guess you can say sister-in-law. So that's my
Mike's sister. Mike's
my
Rachel.
wife's brother's wife, right?
yes.
Like, I feel like we can hang out, like, we're basically family, right? Now, I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm going to hang out with Rachel, like, you can't come. But, like, you know what I mean? If it was a situation where, like, we have common interests, like, I can feel that can be a platonic interaction, right? Like,
Okay.
where, there's no problems there.
Malicious intent.
But, like, I mean, if it's just some random girl I know, like, I have a friend, I don't know. I mean, that kind of, like, you see this in movies all the time. They always write that in, like, oh yeah, she's been my friend since kindergarten, and, like, and there's, like, all sorts of jealousy there. But, like, I don't know. What do you think, Mohammed?
To your example, okay, yeah, that's fine, but I think there's a fine line and a threshold where once it passes, like, sure, in the beginning, yeah, you guys are just friendship. Like, obviously, you're married, so you've had your wife, and there's history there and all that. Like, so that factors into it. It depends on a lot of things, like how long the person's been with the other person, what the history there is with that person. So, like, I'm of the mindset that, like, having opposite sex friends is potential road down to, like, issues.
Absolutely.
Because all it is one mistake away from it. It's, oh, I got a little too drunk. Oh, this happened. Oh, oh, well, I was feeling rejected by you, or, oh, well, whatever. And then they give me attention. And it's like, it's just a slippery slope that you're better off avoiding that temptation, or that, like, temptation, or whatever the better word for it is.
No, that's a good word.
Yeah. So, like, that's my take on it. I mean, like, yeah, in group settings, that's fine. But, like, one-on-one hanging out, there's no real reason why, like, family, extended family, like you said, in-laws, whatever, different story, coworkers, if it's, like, work-related, yeah, that's also a slippery one. But
Yeah.
there's also a threshold. It's like, what is the frequency? What is it outside of that? If it was like, okay, you have to work on
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna say, like, if I was hanging out with my sister-in-law, like, every week, that'd be kind of weird. Like, that raised some flags. You know what I mean? Like,
once in a blue, like something
Yeah.
pops up, like, oh, this thing came out that your brother-in-law's not interested, or your brother-in-law's not interested in, Magnum's not interested in, she's
Right.
interested, and you're interested. Sure, you go do that.
Yeah.
Maybe both of them hate sushi, and this new sushi spot opened up, so you guys are going to get. I don't know, random example, maybe not the best, but like.
Well, I mean, I
there's
think a
just-
good example would be
Yeah,
like,
but he's talking about
we're going-
sister-in-law, and that can't tie into everything. So like that's an out, right?
I mean,
Like,
an example I'd be thinking, I don't think so. I mean, an example I'd be thinking of, like, we're going to go down to the shore for a week, like with my in-laws. So
Yeah.
like her mom's going to be there, her dad's going to be there, like her brother's going to be there, and her brother's wife's going to be there. So like, if let's just say, I'm just picking some random thing, like there's the aquarium down at the shore, right? Maybe there's this thing that's going on that like I really want to see. Like Magda's like Matt, and Mike, her brother, is like Matt, but my sister-in-law is like, I want to see that too. Be like, all right, well, today you guys are going to the beach and we're gonna go see that thing. We'll be back. Like, that's cool, but like, I'm not like hitting her up like, yo, let's hang out every week. You know what I mean? Like that would be wrong.
but there's a difference between you going out with your sister-in-law and you going out with just
Oh yeah, like a female friend.
regular female.
Oh
friend.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
definitely a difference there. Right.
But
But that's what I'm saying. That it depends on the context of the situation.
very nuanced. There's
What
no
about-
real black and white?
what about texting / calling? I know you guys said that like there is a, how often is this being done? But like
Mhm.
someone's texting your significant other like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, bro. I don't know about that.
Depends. Well,
Just
depends. It depends if there's an emergency, somebody's dying.
So I had a
Yes.
conversation.
Yep.
I was like, there's no reason. Like outside of family, work, like there should be no reason why a dude is hitting up my significant other during demon time. Like there is no reason. Like can you give me a valid reason? And for me, there is no valid reason. There has to be a respect and boundaries. Other people think it's okay to have conversations via text or call that late at night, and I don't. That you guys seem to be under the same.
I don't think I don't think I've ever run into this situation, but I do have this problem where like I'll be like, oh, I need to ask this person something, and like I've already forgotten like 20 times to ask this person at particular times, and I'll just like remember randomly like at a certain time. Yo, I've texted people at 1 a.m. being like, look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to text you at 1 a.m, but if I don't text this to you right now, like I'm gonna forget.
So there's a new feature on your iPhone that you can
Send later.
send it
Oh,
for a time.
dude. All right, perfect.
Scheduled
Now I
send.
know.
So saving
I need to jot it
Scotty
down. Yeah.
from sending
Yeah.
late night
It's
text messages.
yeah, right. It's
This-
so bad. It's so bad that like even if I put it in my notes, I'll forget that I put it in the notes. Like that's how bad it is.
So what happens if your significant other is constantly confiding in one person that's a member of that outside of you, some like emotional support kind of thing?
Red flag.
All
No.
right. All right.
Red flag. Oh, you
Okay.
understand.
But real quick,
so
before
well.
we move off of the last thing, that a situation actually not too long ago popped up where a long time friend of mine I've
long,
known
long time
since
ago.
long time ago. No, since like elementary school, reached out to me late, like just texted me randomly about. So they were looking through photos, old photos or whatever, and then texted like, "Hey, do you remember this?" And then my girlfriend was like, she's like, "Why are they texting you this late?" And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, "Why did you respond?" I'm like, I didn't think anything of it because it was just something about like, whatever. And there's nothing going on with them. That person, I don't talk to them regularly. It's whatever. So just to your point, it's like, okay, there's that threshold. And to me, previously, that wasn't something I had even thought about or had anything that I had, put any thought into. So I was like, I just looked at it as if it was nothing. But then more like what you guys talked about, and then hearing from her how she felt about it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It hadn't been something that I dealt with in the
Yeah.
past. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I mean, I've known this person forever. And like, it was something innocuous. And then in her mind, she's like, well, why did they text you so late? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess they were looking through their photos or whatever. Or they were checking something or whatever it was, and then they thought about it and they sent it. So it's just interesting because that's something that makes sense, and there's a level of like the boundaries, like you said, and respect, and I totally get it, totally agree with it, and it was just something new for me.
Yeah.
What about social media liking? If they're
I don't
constant.
Well, so before we get into that, I was just thinking of a situation, like, like you're like my brother, but like I get jealous when like Magda talks to you about stuff and she doesn't talk to me about it. Like,
Really?
oh, I'll be like, yo, what were you just talking to him about? Oh, this and I was like, you didn't even talk to me about that. And I feel safe, but I'm like, the fuck? You know what I mean? The fuck? Why are you talking to him about it? What the hell is this shit?
We're having the couch confessionals.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking you is to understand your boundaries, so that way I'm not texting back.
Oh, dang, he's trying to slip into the DMs.
Plot twist.
Never. What about? Well, I was gonna say social media, but I'll have one better. What about if you find your significant other paying someone's OnlyFans?
Well, is it somebody you know, or is it like a random person?
What the?
No, like
it's not even a question. It's not even a question.
Like she's paying like a
she is
subscription. Yeah.
We have a conversation.
Why is this even a question? This time we were discussing. Like,
what do you mean?
So your girl is paying.
Magda is paying to see a dude. She's giving them a subscription fee.
Like somebody I know?
No, like somebody online.
Oh, so
and that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, so like she's watching porn, effectively.
Sort of. Who knows? Whatever they're doing, she could be.
Well, I mean, if I get mad at her for watching porn, then I can't watch porn.
No,
right?
but there's a difference. There's free porn, and then there is
paid porn.
You're paying someone. Like subscription could be like you having dialogue with them and asking them to do certain.
I mean, what is it? Sophia Rain or something? The billionaire, or whatever. Like,
why do you know
I'm
her
not
name?
getting with Sophia Rain. Like that ain't happening. So like, I don't understand. What's the problem?
Okay. I mean, some people would think that would be a problem.
The problem
she's
is
crushing on somebody.
Sure.
No. The problem is OnlyFans subscription. It could be $20 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month, whatever. And it doesn't just entail like what you're thinking, a subscription to like Brazzers or something. It entails them potentially sending customized content. Like if you sign up for whatever tier, maybe you get some kind of specific content, and like he's making videos just for her, or he's making videos for everybody and he's sending them to her, or specific requests.
I don't know. This is a business transaction, right?
But what happens if it's not?
What do you mean? What happens?
Well, I'm just saying. What happens? Like, you don't think it can't lead into like, I want to film content with you?
I mean, I guess it could.
You gotta have some trust in the person you're with, though, too.
Right,
like,
sure,
that's,
sure.
I mean,
but are you not
going
to feel the type of way that they're paying like $20 a month to see one person?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
I mean, personally, I don't. I wouldn't have an issue. Like it's porn, but like some people look at it from a perspective of like it's more intimate than just porn.
Yeah. Well, I think this also gets to the fact that what I was talking about before is like that line between jealousy and like, look, of course, like, who hasn't had the conversation? Oh, and maybe this isn't like a normal thing, but like, with your partner, who's your crush, right? Like movie crush.
Oh, you're giving a hall pass?
Actor, actress, hall pass. Hall pass conversation.
Wait, what?
Right?
Hall pass?
Yeah, hall pass conversation, right? Like if you had one opportunity to get a hall pass, who would you put that?
You
hall
never
pass
had this
in
conversation, Mohammed?
Have I?
I got hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like,
have I had it?
Yeah, with Farah.
I'm gonna get in trouble if I say the wrong answer right now, but I think so. Maybe,
it's more dangerous. It's more dangerous than it is.
It's more like, who, like I know Magda likes Usher. I'm not saying Usher's the hall pass, right? I know Magda finds Usher extremely attractive. I'm not saying that she would want that to be her hall pass, but it's like saying like she has a crush on him, and who would you say?
From what, a female perspective?
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. I don't know what your taste is.
Like who would be my hall pass? I mean, I think it's a tie between two. I don't know.
Let's
maybe,
here
like,
real quick though. Before you answer that, not to cut you off, there's a difference between what Tony just said, what Wiz just said, versus what you're answering. The first thing he said was you're talking about crushes. The hall pass is a different story. Hall pass.
Yeah, the hall
is
pass. We know what the hall pass is. Oh,
we know what the hall
we
pass
know
is.
what this conversation is.
But what I'm saying is, you're saying talking about crushes. Like, sure, okay, you said, oh, this person's attractive, whatever. But like the hall pass of actually doing it or not is a completely different story versus the part of what you were saying with Usher and Magda or whatever. So,
no, I mean, like, if you were,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know who Magda's hall pass is, but I'm saying, like, you know, there is somebody, like, there is a well-known person out there that you have like an attraction to, right? I mean, look, I mean, there's beautiful women in movies and TV and whatever, right? Or if you're into guys, right? There's good-looking guys or whatever. Like, some people, like, if I had to put out a hall pass on a dude, I don't know, probably be Brad Pitt, like, you know what I mean, or something like that.
tell us more. Tell us more about your Brad Pitt fantasies.
What more are you thinking about Brad Pitt?
I'm just saying, like, pick a dude, right? Like, pick a dude.
Oh yeah, pick a dude. This is like Diddy,
Yo,
right?
if you guys are
Just
not,
pick a dude.
if you guys are not comfortable enough, with your own sexuality to make that kind of option, then you had some other hot childhood trauma. But
no,
like,
I mean, I'm completely fine, and I'm willing.
all right, who's your man?
I'm willing to accept you.
Who's your
for
man hall
liking Brad
pass?
Pitt.
Who's your man hall pass?
My man hall pass?
Yeah.
I don't Channing Tatum.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, Muhammad, you got one?
I have to think about it. There's some dudes that are, there's like some actors that you can just tell they're attractive.
Yeah,
Like attractive
it's
men.
attractive
Like,
dudes.
But like while he's thinking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What was my point?
Who is your woman hall pass?
Dude, if I had to say, like, right now or like at any
Come
point
on,
in time,
just say a name.
Yeah, cause like, you know, right now is somebody different than if I went back in time, right?
Okay,
Like,
right now.
I don't know. I think one of the hottest women out there right now is probably Sydney Sweeney.
Okay, so Scotty lucks up, is in a room with Sydney Sweeney, and Sydney Sweeney goes, "I want you right now." That would be his hall pass, and Magda would have to be okay with that being happening.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this is a
is
hypothetical that's
hypothetical.
never going to happen,
Yeah.
right? Sydney Sweeney,
And even
no
if it did
offense.
happen, I'm not calling the hall pass, right? Like, I'm gonna have to bow out of that.
I call bullshit.
Nah, dude. For real. I mean, what, for my kids? Want me to give
I
up
mean,
my kids
if
for
you've
that?
already
No, I'm good.
established the hall pass with Magda, I think it's okay.
Yeah, if it was a serious conversation, but I don't think ever those conversations become serious, and that's gonna
Until
cause.
they are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. All right.
No, I'm just kidding. But who's your male hall pass?
I thought maybe you were just gonna go.
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, he was
I heard
hoping
you
we
got
were
quiet,
skipping
and then yeah.
I think I'd probably say Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, that's
All
a good
right.
one. That's a
All
good
right.
one. So this is where I get to shut the fuck up and just ask questions, right? And
I thought this
'cause I
was that
talk-
section already.
Oh no! I always partake in that. So this is where
Oh,
I get to
man.
ask some questions on you guys, and it'll be kind of fun. So would you rather accidentally send a spicy pic to your mom or your boss?
Is this all the questions are gonna be like?
No, there's some other ones.
I guess my mom. Yeah.
She's already seen it all.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh,
would you be
wait. Clarifying question: is your boss a woman or a
It
man?
doesn't matter.
I don't.
It does matter.
It wouldn't matter to me. It wouldn't matter to me.
I think it matters because it's not going to be as bad if it's sent to a man. I
That's
think.
true. That's true, but I still like rather send it to my mom.
Yeah,
than
I agree.
my man boss.
If I had to pick,
So you get given $500,000,
Mhm.
but in order to take that $500,000, there is a angry slug that is chasing you.
Like a small
A small slug.
little slug
Small
that's
little
chasing
slug.
me. Sure,
That's
chase me.
chasing you.
Okay.
Well, if it touches you at any point of time, you die.
In my whole life.
in your whole life.
Oh, it just follows me. My
It's
whole life.
chasing you.
What if I step on it?
I don't. Then you
Oh,
die.
then I
'Cause you
die.
touch.
Well, on my shoe?
You touch any part of it, you die.
Now,
You take the 500,000 with this slug chasing you forever.
I mean, I would just trap the slug in a glass bottle and then call it a day.
I mean, the slug might have resources in order to move that glass bottle.
I'm assuming that one of the things is you can't impede the slug, right? No, I don't know. $500,000 is not enough to do that. I wouldn't take it.
You wouldn't take the 500,000?
No.
Mom?
500,000. Yeah, it's really not. It's not enough.
No, to be thinking about this slug my whole life. No, good.
So we're defeated by a slug.
Essentially, you guys just.
I mean,
lost a slug.
can I take this $500,000 like in LA, and then the slug's got to catch up to me from LA to here? Because I mean, that could be a lifetime.
Yeah, but like the slug could be very resourceful and hop on something.
This is true. It's
chasing you.
Or you could end up forgetting about it because of how long you think it takes for him to get to you.
That's true.
And then like one day, you just die because.
I'd be like, here you go, slug. Here's your 500 back.
I don't know how. I mean, I agree. I don't want to get into these because these are for you guys, but I personally don't know if I would be able to sleep very well.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Just knowing that a slug. So, at what dollar value? the mental image, right, of just this little slug,
slug just
like,
slurping
just
along with the
inching
trail.
around, right? What dollar value would you consider this?
$1 billion.
What?
$1 billion.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, I mean $1 billion.
$1 billion is definitive, right?
What's the lowest? What's the lowest?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to have a couple houses.
Couple houses.
Yeah, I mean like to get away from the slug. Oh, got into the house. Let's go to Florida. Got into the house. Let's go to LA. See how long it takes it. You know what I mean? Like, one, I would have to not work ever again, right? Because like I'm gonna live my life and worry about this slug for the rest of my life.
Is this a normal slug?
I guess I don't know.
Normal water slug.
No, I mean these are important questions. I need to know if it's a normal slug. If it's a normal slug, then you can move around quick enough to get away from it. If you even see it coming, you can just get up and move.
I think
if
that
it's some
the
kind of a
thought
super
process
slug,
is at a certain point of time, you're going to forget about the slug. You're going to go to bed. And how are you going to be able to sleep comfortably knowing that there's a slug chasing you? Like, and that's the point that is probably the most difficult, right? Because like it doesn't matter how fast the slug can move. The slug's ability to get around is one thing, sure, but it's the fact that it is small, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure you don't lose health just from the fact that you're thinking about it all the time.
yeah.
Like, because, like, you can see a slug and think it's the slug, and now you're gonna move to Florida, but it's just been chilling in your Florida home waiting for you to go to Florida.
I mean, it's chasing me though.
But it could be smart, could it not?
It's a slug.
Well, we're not getting all the information there, so now my number is higher.
Now my number's
higher. You want to
higher.
keep changing the question, my number keeps going up.
All right.
That's why I just went with the billion.
You're still
Would
going
you
with a
rather
billion?
like an ex's ancient pic on Instagram or send a boss a selfie? A fully
I'd send
exposed selfie.
I sent my boss a selfie, yeah.
A fully exposed one?
You didn't say that.
I did.
I don't understand the question, but I don't
So,
Like,
in other words,
so I have to what? Look
So
at
you know
an
how you
ex's
went
ancient pic?
all the way up to
Sure.
Joe Button's very first video
Yeah.
to see how he was.
Yeah.
You're going back in the archives
Okay.
on an ex's old Instagram post
Okay.
and liking it. As soon as you like that ex is going to be like, why the fuck is he looking at pictures from 1,000 pictures ago?
Yeah.
So you either get that or send a spicy pic to.
I don't talk to any of my exes or associate with almost anybody they know. Like, sure, whatever. I'll like an old ass Instagram pics.
When you change it to spicy, because at first you didn't say spicy.
My bad.
So when you change it to that, then obviously I'm liking the ex's picture. But I also don't associate it with any of my exes. I don't follow them on Instagram or have them following me on social media or anything like that.
Okay, would you rather somebody fake it in bed with you or crush your ego?
Crush my ego.
I mean, crush my ego, I guess.
Would you rather your cell phone read all the texts out loud
Oh, God.
or have your browser history on a billboard?
Browser history on a billboard.
I mean, my text messages ain't bad, so whatever.
The fuck, it's not.
Is it phone or mobile? Is it from your phone or from the computer?
From your phone.
What kind of messages are you sending on your computer, Muhammad? What the
No,
hell?
he's thinking about browser history.
Browser history.
Oh, browser history. Oh, browser history from my phone or browser history from my computer?
Exactly. There's a big distinction.
So we're going to use all of your browser histories.
Bro.
All of your browser histories or your text messages.
Like even the browser histories that I've already deleted? Because I keep... No, I mean...
No, that doesn't mean anything. They're not deleted. You know that,
I
right?
keep that clean. Like,
They're never deleted.
Yeah, they're never deleted. But I mean, I keep it clean. I mean, like if I went into my browser history right now, like, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm saying whatever your
like what the police can find,
whatever,
or what you can find
whatever
on
your
Chrome right now,
like whatever your search history is. Period. Your browser history.
Has long to die in the
cold. I'm still going browser history because my friends send some crazy shit in text messages.
Nah, man, my text messages are clean.
Mine are
not.
The
fuck it is.
I don't care. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
That's wild. That is wild. I think you're not thinking about that.
I think in your head, you've got some things you don't want out.
You have to think about what Wiz sends you, though.
I'm good.
You have to think about what Wiz sends you.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the worst.
That's being said out loud.
Yeah, but it's worse for him.
No, it's worse for you because it's coming to your phone.
Yeah,
you're the one that they're going to hear it coming out of.
I am.
Oh, well, okay.
Excuse me.
We're going with that.
Yeah, your phone. I text you. You're in the middle of a supermarket, and I could just say whatever I want to say.
Oh, I thought you were
saying... Or you're at work.
I didn't understand the question.
Yeah.
You're at work, your phone goes off, and whatever crazy shit someone sends just starts going out the audio.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, would you fuck her?
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Pretty much. There was a time that Muhammad was on speakerphone with me, ordering, like, drive-through. And I don't think that... Well, I think maybe the drive-through person had a laugh. I
wouldn't mind that so much. Like, fuck the drive-through people. Like, I mean, y'all are cool, but like,
yeah.
How often am I going to see you?
Guys,
you know what I mean? I'm not really going to do a drive-through.
I wanted you guys just to, everybody who hopefully listens to this podcast, who sees this guy in the drive-through, just treat him with that same respect.
Tell me fuck you too. That's right. I'm good with that. I'm cool with that.
Give him a little hot tour, if you know what I mean.
Whoa.
I don't mean, oh, yeah, I guess.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
That's you crossed the line.
What are you, yo,
you spit on that burger.
Your mind is just constantly in the gutter, bro.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like spit in the drink.
Yeah.
Spit in the sandwich. Not like.
All right, bro. I think you need to find a girl.
Yeah. Dig the hole deeper.
Dig a little deeper.
Cancel one thing about modern life.
Nah,
that's annoying.
I'm anti-cancel.
No, it's like you have a choice to remove something that's extremely annoying from modern life. What is it?
Do you want the cancel us answer or the real answer? Like, cancel us answer or the safe answer?
No, cancel us.
All right, never mind.
I don't know, bro. You got to send us this list of questions before we get here.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have a hot take, but I think I'll get in a lot of trouble for it. So I'll tell you guys later.
I'll cancel taxes. Just cancel taxes. I'm good with that. I realize people are gonna get mad at me because then Medicare, Medicaid, and all that other stuff go away, but just just cancel.
No, there's ways to pay for it. You just got to do tariffs.
Yeah, tariffs.
I had this argument with somebody, but they didn't want to
I
listen
would
back.
cancel. I would cancel paying for utilities.
Yo, taxes is way bigger than utilities.
That's okay. Whereas it wasn't a matter of
Yeah.
taxes. It was a matter of the fact that like there are people that like people can't afford utilities, so that saves more than. Or I would cancel homelessness then.
Ah, that's a good one. I like that. Cancel homelessness.
Oh, you guys are trying to make this nice. I was talking about annoying. But that's
Oh,
all right.
taxes are annoying.
Homeless people on the street are annoying.
Taxes
Oh, well,
are
homeless-
annoying.
Speaking of homelessness, I was
I
was in Philadelphia
Deep into taxes.
and I was walking down an alley, right? I think I was to get to you. I think you know the story. I'm almost certain.
Yeah. Dude.
So I park in a parking deck, and I went down the elevator that got me to the opposite street, right? So I take the alleyway between the parking deck and the other building up to get to Reading Terminal Market to meet him.
Yeah.
And you ever be like see something through your peripheral and like, oh, I gotta look. So I do that, right? And I'm like, nah. And I had to do a double take, and like it was what was happening. Like 2 homeless people were in the cut. 2 male homeless people were in the cut. Both of them with pants and underwear to the knees and just straight spanking it, bro. And I'm like, nah. And it wasn't like one was doing the other. It was just like they were looking at each other doing it. And I'm like, all right. I start walking quick because I'm like, I don't want to like this. I don't want this guy to come with me to dick hands, and I have to. No, I'm out of here, bro. I started getting that.
Could you tell? Was it a Tootsie Roll?
He wasn't sitting.
Was it Tootsie Roll side?
He wasn't sitting in the chair, and I didn't see anyone rubbing lotion on the skin. So
Maybe they had a
baby
wager.
batter. What?
Maybe they had a wager.
Oh, who could last longer?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is too deep.
Whoever goes first buys the other one crack.
That was not my intent.
How many strokes to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll
Oh my
Pop?
god, bro.
All right, next.
Next question.
All right, well, we'll just get off of this because this didn't go like the way I wanted it to go. But it was fun.
Well, pick one more.
Make it a good one.
The best one, not sexual. Which they're all sexual, of course, because that's all this motherfucker thinks about.
You get hiccups if you flirt, or you sneeze if you lie.
Hiccups, because I don't know how to flirt.
Bro. Hiccups, yeah. I'd rather have hiccups.
Because lies are sometimes not bad.
Liar! But, like, for instance, what I'm trying to say is, if you and Magda are having a serious conversation, and you're being upfront, straight, honest with her, but you sneeze, now she doesn't think you're telling the truth. But you're being honest with her. You see what I mean? That's a problem. Sneezing is a problem.
This is why I'm picking the hiccups.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Same.
I was like, what are you arguing?
Well, apparently for me it's going to be hard because
and I'm not flirting with any girls.
Apparently all I do is flirt. So like
I'm not flirting with girls at all.
Yeah, all you do is
hiccuping all the time. You're flirting with me right now.
All you do is flirt and lie.
Stop looking at me like that.
Well, this was fun. Maybe I get better questions next time. So I'll think about it. But
now we're gonna have questions for you next time.
Oh yeah. Well, there's not much I'm not gonna answer, so that was that.
I don't think they can be worse.
We know that. All right. Well, I mean, just happy Memorial Day. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. Enjoy the rest. And we'll see you next time on
next week. On No Safe Words.
See you next
No
week.
Safe Words. See y'all.
No safe.